we've been a part of for years.
We're family.
It is like your family when you're around them all the time. No one seems to have changed.
Getting to 100 episodes is just an amazing feeling. It's what you always set out to do. It's kind of like the standard, what you're striving for, and it's really hard to do.
I can't even believe that it's been 5 years.
I was 20. We shot the pilot. I turned 21, just moved to New York City. Not a bad time to turn 21 and move to the city.
It literally feels like it has flown by. It's 5 years, here we are, 100 episodes. It's incredible. It's still going strong.
Wow, that was half of my 20s. And that's really what it was. Like half of my 20s, that's crazy.
It's happened so fast, it just seems like we came here yesterday.
Tiffany Savage asked me to come to her office at Warner Brothers 5 years ago. She said, no, I want you to watch this pilot and then call me tonight and tell me what you think. So I took home the pilot and I watched it and I thought, wow.
Making the pilot was a really special experience, and you got a sense that something special was going on.
The thing about the pilot was that it was a serious, intense drama. There were rapes, heavy sex scenes, a lot of drugs and alcohol.
It's the birth, it's when you're sort of discovering everything. Everything's new and exciting.
Part of what we were doing is contrasting youth and innocence with this very heightened quality of life in which dangerous things happen.
I think the thing that fans love so much about the show is a combination of the characters and then the world of the show.
The show was very much about, from the very beginning, the opening shot is somebody returning to a world they left behind. There's not only what's it going to be like now when you walk back in after being gone, but there's also why you left and what led up to you leaving.
Then what sort of evolves naturally out of, finding the costume and sort of connecting with the other characters and realizing what your relationship is with these different people, your character evolves.
And we constantly are pulling, whether it's something like what happened between Blair's parents when they got divorced, which you hear about in episode 3 of season 1, and then you, through the course of the seasons, have met her father, have met her father's partner.
We're constantly examining our choices to make sure that we are remaining true to the Gossip Girl ideal.
The bond between the core cast members on the show is the bond between the characters. They have that bond off screen as well as on screen, and that, I think, is one of the biggest reasons we've made it to 100 episodes, is that these people are friends and family in real life and on screen.
It's hard to pick just one storyline over 5 seasons. Certainly, the pilot storyline, the Dan and Serena story, will always be really close to my heart, and that's sort of what we built the series around, this kind of Romeo and Juliet relationship between these two kids.
There's really been nobody else for Serena or for Dan, perhaps. And I love the mixing of socioeconomic strata in that relationship.
I'm really happy to be here with you.
Chuck and Blair, of course, is a huge storyline for us and something that was a little bit surprising. They have no relationship in the book whatsoever, so that was really something that's kind of unique to the series. And I think a lot grew out of Leighton and Ed's chemistry with each other and just the fun of writing scenes with those two characters.
I can't tell you how glad I am at this moment that Diana isn't really my mother.
Hand me the book.
It's one of those classic epic love stories, and you don't come upon those often, either in movies or television, where the audience is so committed to their relationship.
We were terrified. That episode where they get together and have sex in the limo was a very early episode, and it was violating a lot of sort of the mythology of the books. So it was a big risk to go there.
I feel very close to the season 2 arc of Chuck and Blair and Chuck not being able to say I love you. It was hard for me to write those episodes without getting emotional. At the time, and it actually still feels like sort of the biggest thing that you could do. Like Chuck really had to find that in himself, and that was a hurdle that lasted 25 episodes. And I wrote the first one where he wouldn't say it, and I wrote the last one of that season where he finally said it.
I love you too.
And that whole arc was sort of the most meaningful to me.
The storyline for me was when our band got back together.
Yeah, it was like that moment we finally realized.
She looks up at me and I'm back on stage, and it's like we're teenagers again. It's the reprise of our youth.
It was good.
And I'm back on stage going, every time
You
you
looked
walk
really
away,
hot,
run away.
too, up there. It was good.
Come back
was
to
a good
me.
moment.
They really are like a married couple now at this point. It's really great and fun to watch them.
He has an answer for all your questions. You don't even need to ask the questions. He'll just answer. No, come on. What are you? Don't look at your cheat sheet. What are you doing? This is supposed to be spontaneous.
It is spontaneous.
Even you're taking all the excitement out of it.
For you, this is exciting for me.
Exactly. I like it a little
see?
more spontaneous.
Married couple. Married couple. All right.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
I think a lot of my comedic moments revolve around Dorota, who is my family's housekeeper. In real life, her name is Dorota, and it is who she's based on. So Dorota's ringtone being "I'm slave for you," also in season 2 for when Eleanor called her. I always think about sort of those moments, because, you know, she is the comic relief character.
I go make tuna melts for both of you.
Do you have a favorite line of dialogue?
I'm Chuck Bass.
Yes, that is me.